that you will have pulled down from the website. Let's see. You'll note we're operating in our usual classroom here, so you should feel right at home. And I think you can see enough of the picture there. So here is Activity 8, and I hope you have your own copy that you can follow along on here. And the first page has some function operations and function compositions. And let me just look at a couple of examples here. What's unusual is that or different from my examples on the board, is I've got one function, f of x, defined just by its graph. I don't have a formula, but just a graph for f of x. And then I've got a second function, g of x, that's just defined by a table of values, just a few input-output values. And finally, h of x, that's defined by a formula. So as you go down this list, let's see, let me go down to about number 8. F composed with h of negative 2. So because this has a composition piece in it, I'd want to write a definition step. That's f of h of negative 2, and then work from the inside out. So h of negative 2, well, h is defined by a formula. So h of negative 2 is 12 over negative 3 is negative 4. Excuse me for skipping a step or two here. I'm smashing this onto the activity, and you probably should be using your notebook to do a little extra scratch work here. So f of negative 4 is f of h of negative 2. And then f of negative 4, since f is defined by a graph, I'm going to have to go over here and find f of negative 4 on the graph. It's a little hard to see probably on the camera, but here's the origin. And so negative 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 is right here. And I believe I have a point right here on the graph that is the point negative 4 comma negative 4. So f of negative 4 is negative 4. The output's negative 4. And you do a lot of that kind of work in the activity, working with these three functions. A couple of things I should point out. This, if you look closely, is not f composed with g, it's f times g. There's just a multiplication symbol here, and all that means is f of 2 times g of 2. Very different from the composition. It's a common mistake for people to want f composed with h of 2, or an expression like f of g of 3, to treat that as multiplication, where it's not, it's composition. But here the multiplication symbol just means f of 2 times g of 2. Let me see. Let's go down to number 12 rather than finishing number 9. G of h of 7. So this isn't written with composition notation, not with the composition symbol, but this is g of h of 7. This is g composed with h of 7. And again, I'd work from the inside. So I'd start by figuring out what h of 7 is. From the formula, I can see 12 over 7 minus 1 is 12 over 6 is 2. And then g of 2, now I'm working off of the table. When x is equal to 2, g of x is negative 1. So g of 2 is negative 1. Goodbye.